Good evening, everybody. It's Monday. Yes, it's October the 2nd, and it's 80 degrees outside. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the South Haven City Council. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And now, if you'll join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. And now, if you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Roll call, Megan.
Jeff Arnold.
Here.
Wendy Onuki. Here. Joe Reeser.
Here.
Steve Schlack.
Here.
George Sleeper.
Here.
Letitia Wilkins. Here. Scott Smith.
Here. That takes us to the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Motion is second to approve the agenda. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Agenda is approved. We are now at that point in the meeting where we take public comment for items which are on the agenda. So if there's an item on the agenda that you'd like to speak to, come on up, state your name and address. You'll have up to 5 minutes. And that's again for items on the agenda. Let's go into it. Good evening.
Good evening, Mary Hasley, 726 North Shore Drive. Just as a record keeping, you all received the emails from Mr. Kingsbury and myself with regard to consent agenda E and the known citywide issues on drainage that are somewhat related to that, and we look forward to resolution of those issues for the health, safety, and welfare of our community. If my jacket didn't give it away, it's not because it's just a little chilly in here, despite it being 80 degrees outside. I am here on agenda item 8 for the resolution for support of replacement of the Nichols Bridge with a similar cover bridge for the Calhaven Trail over the Black River, specifically a wooden bridge. The Nichols Bridge has been in existence for over 30 years. It's an icon. It's in hundreds and thousands of photos. It has made the photo cover of Pure Michigan. It attracts people here. My husband and I have ridden the Calhaven Trail. We even had a gift certificate and biked from Kalamazoo to South Haven for a wedding gift. And through that bridge, we rode. To have it be removed and not replaced is disrespectful of our community. It brings tourism, it brings livelihood, it brings cherished memories, and that is now gone because the DNR proceeded without having a covered bridge. And through records we've gotten, through Freedom of Information Act, we know we had confirmation of what we suspected, that this was in the plans, the replacement was in the plans since 2019. But it didn't come to light until October 2022, when really it was a train coming the other way. It wasn't the end of the tunnel. We were not provided sufficient time to have adequate input to ensure that the bridge was properly replaced with the type of bridge that is warranted for our community. And we look forward to the City Council adopting this resolution and joining our forces to ensure that the DNR does the right thing because our community deserves it. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thanks for your comments. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Good evening.
Jeff Green, live out in Grand Junction. I'm the former chair of the Friends of the Calhaven Trail. So I come here tonight to speak for that on item agenda 8. I've worked with some of you, Scott Smith, I certainly see a lot at our trail events. It was in November of 2021 that the DNR became aware that the Black River Bridge needed to be replaced. And they already had a plan to upgrade the trail, which if you go past 71st and Half Street now and look either direction, you'll see what's going on, okay? You'll see that's happening. But what we don't understand is why, when Jill Sell, the trails specialist for the region, when she ordered a new span for the Black River, why she didn't order a span that could handle the weight of a replacement cover for the Nichols Family Bridge. And Mary can tell you, the Visitors Bureau can tell you, anybody who's been in on this, Heather can tell you, we have asked the DNR this question 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, and they will not answer the question. How did you allow this icon of our community, of Southwest Michigan in general, of the Calhaven Trail, the state's premier linear state trail, how could you allow that icon to be destroyed and not replaced? Ron Olson, the chair of the state parks guy, said, oh, it's different budgets. But that doesn't explain anything, because on the White Pine Trail, which is being reconstructed now from Grand Rapids to Cadillac, 92 miles, it's being paved, by the way, across the Hersey River at Reed City in 2003, I believe, Reed City put up a covered bridge, not dissimilar to the Nichols Family Bridge. And in 2017, when the DNR realized that that bridge across the Hersey River had to be replaced, it's another 150-year-old span, it's exactly the same as this bridge here. They said to Reed City, you're going to lose your bridge, but we're going to build you a bridge, we're going to build you a new one that can handle a new cover. So Reed City got that from DNR, but South Haven did not. We're the center of $260 million tourism industry, and we were told no, it's not our business to know. Or, you know, one of the things that the Friends have done, I'm no longer with them over this issue, by the way. One of the reasons is that we had signed what's called a memorandum of understanding with the DNR that explains what their relationship is to the Friends groups in the state parks across the state. And the primary connection is that the DNR will assist the Friends group in our projects by sharing information, making things available, whatever. Before we had an MOA, and Kurt Maxwell was the supervisor of the park, if we needed something done and wanted to do something, we did it. And Kurt would call us, say, hey, there's money available for this project or that project. He came to our meetings. It was open sharing of information. With the new people here now, Matt Metzger and Jill Sell, that information just got turned off, like switched, like that. And it's made it very difficult. Had we known that the bridge could not handle, the new bridge that Jill was considering could not handle a new cover, we would have had an entire year to come to this community, go to the Visitors Bureau, go to anybody, to begin raising funds to make up the money that was necessary. But DNR didn't give us that opportunity. Now, they have promised us, Tim Nowak, who is the Trails Coordinator for the state, has said he's going to look for a solution. Now, we've been through emails and Zoom calls with these people, and their solutions are specious, to say the least. One is that we can put a new cover on as long as it doesn't touch their bridge. So think about a 150-foot-long arch on either side of that bridge now supporting a cover. We're talking $1.5 million, if not more. This is insane. So there's a better solution. They came to us with a shopping mall entrance, aluminum-sided thing, okay, which was not befitting of this bridge. Yes, sir?
Obviously, you got a minute.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've been watching.
You're good.
So to ask you all to pass a resolution that would ask the DNR to fulfill their obligation to come up with a solution is, I think, a reasonable thing to do. I don't believe it's controversial at all. I think the outpouring from the community has been such that everybody's a little annoyed at what's going on here. The Friends, as I found out, we spent somewhere between $12,000 and $18,000 providing the labor for that bridge, going back in time. And there's a connection to us, there's a connection to the state of Michigan, there's a connection to South Haven, there's a connection to the almost $300 million tourism industry based here, and there's no reason why the Black River should not have another wooden bridge covering it. So thank you for your time.
That's good. Thanks for sharing your comments and coming out tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Was there anybody else? Again, for items on the agenda. Oh, come on out. Not bringing your helpers?
If they want to, but my name is Heather Kempton. I'm owner of Calhaven Outpost. I was also here to ask the city to approve the resolution for the covered bridge. As a business owner in town, it is definitely an asset to our town, and we have seen some downtick in reservations because of the trail. It needs to get done. I'm not arguing that, but a trail cover or a bridge cover would be, yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good job, kids. All right, yeah. We'll let Bob come up here. Good evening, Bob.
Good evening. My name is Bob Copping. I'm a resident of South Haven, living at 16 Ashley Lane. South Haven has a wonderful history of cherishing its past as it moves forward into the future. Look at what has been done with the lighthouse, for example. Yet now, South Haven's beloved covered wooden bridge, enjoyed by thousands, where proposals have been made, I've seen a picture of one, and weddings have taken place, is being taken from us, despite numerous objections, and replaced with cold, bare steel. I strongly support the motion being placed before you. We owe it to the past, and even more importantly, we owe it to our future.
Thank you, Bob, appreciate it. Well said. Is there anybody else? Going once, going twice. Good. All right. Let's go on here. That takes us to the consent agenda, items A through G.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items A through G.
Second.
Motion is second to approve consent agenda items A through G. This is a roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Onuki,
Yes.
Reeser,
Yes.
Schlack,
Yes.
Sleeper,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. That takes us to new business. City Council will be asked to approve Resolution 2023-29, which is a resolution in support of the replacement of the Nichols Bridge with a similar covered bridge for the Calhaven Trail over the Black River.
Make a motion to approve the resolution 2023-29, a resolution supporting the replacement of the Nichols Bridge with a similar covered bridge for the Calhaven Trail over the Black River.
Second.
We got a motion, we got a second. I think we're all very aware what this is about. It was very eloquently shared with everybody, which we appreciate that. Kate, anything else you want to add other than resolution's pretty clear and
The resolution is very clear, and I know that Dick Brunvin, who contacted my mayor and myself about this resolution, would like to come up and talk a little bit about this one item. This is not a financial request, but really an outpouring just to support by the community at this time to show that this is something that is wanted and needed and desired. Dick?
Thank you. I got this. There we go. I won't take long tonight, but I do appreciate that you're all here for my birthday this evening.
Well, happy birthday.
And as soon as I get home, my wife has promised me that we're going to have the 86 candles on the brownie she made for me. Yeah. But we don't have to worry because the fire department is very competent around here, and they'll take care of it if the candles burn anything down. Anyway, I want to tell you that the people that we met with, that many of them spoke tonight on the 13th of September to try to see what could we do about this whole thing. You folks are supporting it. We know that. But does the community really know that that bridge is being taken down out there? And we're not sure of that. So I appreciate that our team of Jen Setstrup from the Convention Bureau and Mary that Housley is here, Jeff Green, Bob and Heather Kempton, and a lot of others have supported this and put this resolution together that you're looking at tonight. I'm just a messenger. And you just heard from Bob Copping. If any of you know Bob Copping, when Bob Copping calls you, you jump into action. When he calls you, Bob is in his 90s, I'm only in my 80s. When he calls you on his way driving up to Drummond Island and say, Brunvan, what are you doing about the bridge out there? I said, I don't know, Bob. I didn't think I was doing anything. And then I have to jump into action. And so I did and made a few calls and made calls to people. And what we found out was that the DNR doesn't seem to answer a lot of people, because we had calls from everybody, including the governor's office, and we were told that, oh yeah, that's a bad thing to do that, and so we're going to help you out. And we thought we had that, and what we had was the same sandwich salads discussion of the DNR, where they said, sorry, but this has already been done, and we're going to have to go ahead with it. What we think happened was in 2019, the decision was made at that point to get rid of the covered bridge. What we also think happened was the decision was made that they had money to spend, and this was a good trail to spend it on, so let's get going on it. They expected to have public comment. Well, they didn't have public comment, and Jen from the Conference Bureau found out that they were going to do this and started asking questions. And what happened was then the DNR, unfortunately, I mean, it appears that way because of the answer we've gotten, has decided, well, we'll play some games and we'll tell them we might do it, and then we'll back away and we won't do it. Now, if this is untrue, I invite the DNR to come and give us all the information we asked for. When was the bridge designed? When was it happening? When did you decide to get rid of it? Why are you treating us different than Reed City? Why do you think that we in this community aren't as cooperative as people in Reed City? I don't understand it, because in this community we've had a wonderful reception and worked with the DNR from the recreation plan that the township and the city put together, from trails to the state park, from the beautiful Pilgrim Haven. It goes on and on and on. We've done that. So what's this all about? Our hope is with this resolution, then the group can go back and now, well, the trail is being torn apart and the bridge is being torn apart, and work out a deal that will get a bridge over that Black River that is comparable to what is being taken down right now. I mean, I understand it's a 154-year-old bridge that's out there, and I understand the problems with it. I understand it's, some say that, it's rotten, all that kind of thing. We know in a lot of states, a lot of communities, they do everything they can to save those kind of things. I don't get it. I love the trellis out there. I love the bridge that's there, but okay, so they're taking it down. There's nothing we can do. We can't stop that project. But we can work and get a resolution like this, and hopefully one from the township, which Ross Stein says that they'll do as well, that will help us convince the DNR that put away these past concerns you have of whatever happened, and work with us now to get a decent wooden bridge with a cover over the Black River. This will help. We appreciate you passing the resolution. We know it wasn't a matter of having to convince you to do it, but we got to put some light on this whole thing and let the rest of the community know what's happening out there. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And now I'll go home and have my brownie. Is that all right? Yeah.
That's fair. Should we sing him happy birthday? All right.
No, don't sing happy birthday, please don't. No,
Come on.
no,
heard
no.
me sing it.
That's a good Spartan. I'm asking you, don't sing
Oh,
it.
okay, all right, we'll go. Well, happy birthday anyway, and thanks for bringing it, just sort of getting it to us, and we appreciate it. So, any other comments from this group?
Letitia and I could tell you the hundreds of senior pictures we've seen taken out there, and so yeah, this is a real bad deal.
Yeah, I agree. I have pictures of my girls from when they were little. Like, it's so special to our family to go out there and ride through in every single season. So I would like to figure out a way to get that back. So I am so happy to see this on the agenda.
I would agree. Okay. You have our support. And again, thanks for bringing it, and for everyone for coming to speak tonight. We appreciate it. So we have a motion, we have a second to approve Resolution 2023-29 in support of the replacement of the Nichols Bridge. All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed, no. It is approved. Thank you all. Appreciate it. If you all, I know some of you are sneaking out. I'll let you sneak out. You can. We'll keep going if you guys wanted to. Good job, girls. Goodbye. Go get some dinner. Eat a cheese stick for me. Good night, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, watch out, Ellen.
Don't hit the door. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Next, City Council is going to be asked to approve Resolution 2023-30, which is a resolution recommending that the Michigan Liquor Control Commission grant Gravity Vineyards and Winery, LLC, a social district permit for use at the South Haven Tasting Room at 512 Phoenix Street which is within the South Haven Social District.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-30, a resolution recommending that the Michigan Liquor Control Commission grant Gravity Vineyards and Winery LLC a social district permit for use in the South Haven Tasting Room at 512 Phoenix Street, which is within our social district.
Second.
We've got a motion and we've got a second. Kate, pretty straight ahead, but tell us more.
Well, thank you. We have another resolution being put forward from Gravity Vineyard and Winery. They're looking to join the social district. Again, this would be a resolution recommending that the Michigan Liquor Control Commission grant this. We do have some more information from Griffin Graham, if Griffin wants to jump in here.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to bring this before you. This is very similar to the three others that you all have already approved. Really, the only difference that I want to note this evening is that, as many of you are aware, the South Haven Social District officially kicked off yesterday on October 1. The week before, we were able to get some signage up to delineate the boundaries of the new social district. Presently, the three businesses that already went through this process with you all, New Holland, Kitchen 527, and Taste, are eligible to sell alcoholic beverages to participants of the social district. Others looking to participate, such as Gravity Winery, would still have to go through this process. So should you all decide to move forward with this, we would fill out the appropriate materials from them on our end, and they would need to submit those materials to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. And then once the MLCC approves that requests and conducts their inspection, they would then be eligible to participate in the social district. So that's what's being requested of you all this evening, is approval of the local recommendation form so that staff can prepare the necessary materials for them to submit them to the MLCC.
Sounds
I'm
good.
happy to answer
Appreciate
any
it.
questions.
I think it's helpful for everyone to understand this isn't an immediate approval. They've got to go through the Liquor Control Commission, as did others. So I think that's important. Everyone understands that. So I'm clear. Any other questions on this one from the group? Nothing? Okay. We've got a motion. We've got a second to approve Resolution 2023-30 to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission for Gravity Vineyards. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We are approved. Next, City Council will be asked to consider a motion to introduce an ordinance amending Section 54-167 of the Code of Ordinances to allow for fireworks displays for the Juneteenth holiday.
Sorry, I clicked away. I'll make a motion to introduce an ordinance amending Section 54-167 of the Code of Ordinances to allow fireworks displays for the Juneteenth holiday.
A second.
All right, motion and second. Again, this would just be to introduce, a motion to introduce. Kate, I think we all know what this is about. But
Well, that's correct. At our last meeting, I brought to you a citizen's request to add Juneteenth as a holiday where fireworks can be used and displayed. Based on that feedback, we have proposed an amendment to our ordinance that would allow for fireworks to be discharged on June 19th, if that date is a Friday or a Saturday, until 11:45 p.m. Otherwise, if June 19th is not on a Friday or a Saturday, it would be the third Saturday in June, again, until 11:45 p.m. That's based on our conversation at our last meeting, figuring out, does council want that, and then which date would be best appropriate. Sometimes Juneteenth falls on a Monday or a Tuesday, and that's a little tough for people who want to be awake till 11:45 at night, whereas a Friday or a Saturday might be more appropriate. So that's what's been proposed here. If council is good with that language, then we would move to, one, introduce this, and then bring this back for a public hearing at our next meeting.
sounds good. I like the way this is written, by the way. This is,
And I should add that at our last meeting, Councilmember Schlock had asked, is there any concerns by the police department and or the fire department about adding this? I've checked in with both Executive Director Hins, Fire Marshal Keith Beerhalter, and Chief Natalie Thompson. No concerns were noted.
And Kate, if I remember correctly, the first time we okayed fireworks, Chief Hins was here, and this is the commercial grade that you can buy at the store, so they're not the crazy ones like we have put on the 3rd. Right, when Chief Hins was here, he said he was fine with it back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So what the fireworks committee puts on for the July 3rd is in a whole different category. This is the same,
Professional, yeah.
by allowing consumer grade, this is what you could buy at, one of the tents maybe out on Phoenix or Blue Star, where you could buy those consumer grade. Those are the same type of fireworks that can be used under this ordinance.
That's what I thought.
Very good. Well, it's an introduction, so if there's no other questions, we've got you have something? Oh, you're good. We have a motion and a second, again, to introduce the ordinance to amend section 54-167 to allow for fireworks for the Juneteenth holiday. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are introduced. Next, City Council is going to consider a motion to approve and publish the request for proposals for general legal services.
I did it again.
I'll move to approve and publish the request for proposals for general legal services.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
Let's talk lawyers.
City Attorney Nick Curcio is our general counsel, and that means he handles quite a bit of things from zoning to lease agreements to license agreements. And he is looking to step down and step away from the city. We do have a number of night meetings, and as his kids are getting older into that realm of playing sports, he's looking to not be in the meetings here, but maybe on a soccer field. So what that does is for us is that City Council, as per charter, does provide for City Council to select new general counsel. Now, we do have specialized legal counsel that we use with Dickinson Wright, that handles a number of things such as tax tribunal issues and things like that. This is an RFP for general legal services to act as the city's general counsel. It's been reviewed by legal counsel as well as correlates to many other RFPs around the state. So what we are doing is looking for new legal counsel that handles our general legal services.
Okay. Questions of the group? It's pretty straight ahead. Gotta have it. All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve and publish for the RFP for general legal services. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. We are good to go. Next, we're at public comment. So this is time in the meeting when folks are allowed to come up, have up to 5 minutes to discuss items which are not on the agenda. So if you'd like to come on up, just state your name and address, and we will happily hear what you've got to say. Good evening. How are we doing?
Aaron Cobbs, 914 Center Street. My concern is about, there's been a lot of talk I heard about short-term rental. My thought is, the short-term rental, the residents that been here for 50 years paying taxes, and, I've been in the rental business since 1985. But this short-term rental thing came up. And I have that store over there, which a lot of people live inside, don't even know the store's over there. They just, And I had a part in it that I wasn't using. And it was an apartment when we bought the store with the house. And we eliminated the house and made it the whole thing out of the store. And business got really slow, and we weren't using that part. So I turned it back into a house again, a big apartment. And I decided to do short-term rental. But now, I did get the residential permit. But it's part of my fault. I misunderstood some things reading that permit. I was thinking I could rent 28 days, but it says 6 times out of 28 days. I missed the sixth time. So day I got a letter said, you can't rent no more. But I think I rented 5 times, or maybe 6 times or something. You can't rent no more. And I'm thinking that there should be a business permit for full-time residents. If you're going to do this, there should be. That's my opinion, because I've been here paying taxes all this time. And I think there is I would call myself a relative of South Haven, or family member. And there's a scripture, and the Bible says, 1 Timothy 5:8, if anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, have denied the faith and it's worse than an unbeliever. And I think that if you can't provide, if you're gonna have these short-term things, and I heard, I don't know why it's true or not, that if people holding permits, business permits, that don't even have a building yet. If that's true, now, I'm not saying if that's true, that shouldn't be. I didn't put a lot of money in the building, and I can't get a permit if somebody holding a permit, and maybe don't even live here, and they make all this money and take it out of town, and I spend all mine here. So that's just something I want you to think about. I'm not making no accusation. I'm just asking the question. I want to know why a person that's been here 50 years paying taxes, and when you come up with something like short-term rental, and one more question I would like: how many full-time residents that own? What percentage of full-time residents that own short-term rental? Because I'm sitting over there all alone. The little building, I'm over there all alone. Nobody around it. And I would think, I know I should be kind of exempt from all these, with houses close together and everything, short-term rental. I would think I would be kind of exempt anyway, but maybe not. But I would like to know, and I want you to think about it, that I've been here 50-some years paying taxes. And when I decided to turn my property back turn it into a short-term rental, when I started remodeling, I was going to turn it into like a nail shop or something. And so I said, well, I'll go ahead and turn it into a short-term rental. People were telling me about the short-term rental, and so I go ahead and turn it to a short-term rental. But now, you can only rent it 6 times. I'm thinking 28 days. That 28 days would have helped pretty good. But 6 times, when you put all this money in there, it don't help that much. And I'm not complaining about putting the money in, but I'm thinking about the residential, the full-time resident should have I won't say first choice, but it should be a permit, a business permit for a full-time resident. That's my opinion. Now, I don't know how anybody else feel, but if somebody a high percentage of people can come here from other places and build these houses, whatever, and get permits. And if somebody holding a permit that don't own a house yet, I didn't pay for inspection and everything, and I can't get a business permit. I don't think it's right. That's my opinion.
That's time. Thank you for your comments. Was there anybody else? Good evening, Annie Brown.
Good evening. I'm Annie Brown, 114 Michigan Avenue, and I'm running for mayor of our beautiful city. I've lived here almost 40 years, raised our family here, started a small business, and served on school board. I tell people that I grew up in the town of Hillman, but South Haven raised me and taught me the values that you want in elected officials: hard work, dedication, and honesty. As my dad always said, any job worth doing is a job worth doing well. My opponent is the City Council representative on the South Haven Housing Commission, a board that oversees housing for South Haven senior citizens, veterans, and some of our most vulnerable families. Since January of 2022, my opponent missed 50% of the Housing Commission meetings. The people of South Haven deserve excellence in their leaders. As your next mayor, I will work tirelessly to increase housing, expand economic development, and support our small businesses and work for all of you. On November 7th, please vote for leadership that you trust and deserve. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Was there anybody else? Uh-oh. Tag team. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tom Finney,
Angelica Gallegos-Dickerson.
516 Phoenix Street, Harbor Light Brewery. I came up here tonight to thank City Council for approving our event on the 23rd of September, the Oktoberfest South Haven. This was the first of its kind. It's outside of the normal season, summer season, and so forth. And what we wanted to do was to create an event to take and bring people, tourism, locals, doesn't matter, into town in the fall, because it's very, very beautiful here. We started this program, or this idea, about 1.5 years ago, so it's been quite a while. We were very, very hopeful that we would reach 200, maybe 250 runners. We designed a shirt, you may have seen some of them, red checkered lederhosen shirt. We ended up with a total of 376 runners and walkers. Of those, what I would call the professional or the more serious runners came up to us afterward and said registration was one of the most smoothest they had ever had in an event, and that this was one of the prettiest 5Ks that they had ever run. So that's very good. So I come up here tonight to thank you, City Council, for passing that. We're looking forward to it next year as well. And then working with the South Haven Police Department, they were wonderful. That worked out very well. Shays followed up with their gator in case there was any injury or anything like that. So we thank them very much. The DPW provided all the barricades, many of the cones and so forth, and we appreciate their efforts for bringing that out for us as well. And then the bridge tenders. We had an interesting situation with the bridge because we had taken and made provisions to accommodate for the bridge going up if some of the walkers had not quite crossed the bridge for the second time, and we had participation medals that says, "I got caught by the bridge." We were informed that if there was not a boat present, the bridge may not go up. And so I also want to reach out and thank the steelheaders for providing a boat at 8:30 so that the bridge went up, and we had many walkers that could receive their participation medal of "I got caught by the bridge." So it was a wonderful event, a lot of fun, and so forth. We also included YDC. That was our beneficiary opportunity for hosting this event. YDC does a lot of things for the kids, as you know, and Angelica is here to tell you how well that worked for them.
Thank you again for offering the opportunity for Harbor Light and the City of South Haven to enjoy this 5K. It was lovely. It was well attended. Spirits were high in terms of YDC. We were able to raise over $2,500, and that's going to benefit their programs. First of all, their after-school program. But I can tell you how meaningful it was to see the community, a lot of organizations, the city itself be a part of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And well done. I'm glad it was successful. Is there anybody else? Going once, going twice. Good evening.
Good evening, Mary Hasley, 726 North Shore Drive. I would like to echo the accolades for the support of the Oktoberfest. I got to volunteer and help make sure people turned at the right corner and found the end of the road to get their awards. I am here tonight to ask you, elected officials and city staff, to stand with me and request civility of everyone in our beloved city. I make this request because in less than 1 week, a campaign sign of mine has been vandalized. Whoever did this had to trespass in order to access my sign. It was not right at the sidewalk. This type of activity should be condemned, and I thank City Manager for immediately stepping up and expressing disappointment with such activity. That was very appreciated. Thank you. I thank everyone who supports me and has stayed true to the facts and honorable activities. I urge all candidates to request civility and stick to the verified facts. It's not becoming when such inaccurate information is thrown out there, not just factually inaccurate, but contrary to law. If anyone wants to discuss all the factually and legally inaccurate allegations about me, please contact me. I'm happy to set the record straight. After all, I'm all about the facts. Follow the residents' voices in decision-making, accountability, community engagement, trust through transparency, and service to connect through volunteerism. When we take a seat as an elected official. We get drawn in many directions. And as the vice chair of the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority and the LDFA, we have various meetings that we have to attend. Sometimes work gets complicated and we cannot always attend every single meeting, but that does not mean we're not intimately involved and provide comments to the liaison who handles that and does not have our thumb on the heartbeat of that committee. So when you're looking at participants, please consider their involvement as a whole and not just allegations to dissuade perceptions of their involvement and the lengths they go to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of a community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Good evening, Vicki.
Hi, my name is Vicki Kozlik-Wall, 1059 Hazel Street. I am running for First Ward Council. I bring 9 years of experience to the table. I was born and raised here in South Haven, in Ward 1 my whole life. I even graduated South Haven Public Schools. If you are not happy with the way the City Council has been operating and achieving things, then it's time to clean house. We have the opportunity to elect 4 new council members November 7th. When you run for public office, you should be prepared for your skeletons to come out of the closet. South Haven residents should be well informed by the candidates and that are seeking election. We talk about facts and truth. I did do the Freedom of Information Act, known as FOIA, to obtain all the information that I exposed at the Meet the Candidates. I exposed the candidates' true characters and my own. Council meetings are only 2 times a month. Letitia Wilkins is trying to be reelected for Ward 1. Out of the 120 council meetings, she has only attended 101. She has missed 10 months of council meetings in her first term election. I, out of 236 meetings, only missed 8 in 9 years. I did and will make council meetings a priority. Mary Hasley, candidate for Ward 3, has a current lawsuit against the city naming personally Kate Hosier, the city manager, Megan Kiger, the city clerk, due to a FOIA violation. Megan, who was only on the job for 2 months, accidentally did not do FOIAs accurately. It was not intentional to violate the rules. Mary did not like the way the judge was ruling on July 5th, so she hired an attorney. This is a huge conflict of interest. How does Mary intend to lead the city staff after being very critical of them? We need a full-time mayor, one who lives here full-time. Joe Reeser, who is running for mayor, spends the majority of his time in Kalamazoo, in his Kalamazoo home, with his Western Michigan professor wife from September to May. Just because you claim homestead here in South Haven, it does not mean you physically live here. There is a body cam video of Reeser interacting with Officer Cooper Carnes. Reeser thinking that his being a council member entitles him to perform police duties. Officers such as performing police duties, such as approaching those he thinks are breaking the law. He also feels being a council member entitles him to run to the police chief when he thinks the police officers are not handling issues to his satisfaction. Joe Reeser also has a police report of illegally placing his campaign sign without the resident's permission. Again, all of this is obtained by FOIA. And anybody can get a FOIA. As you see, I am not afraid of exposing the truth. Like I said, I'm not here to make friends, but to get South Haven on the right track again. I am seeking solutions for short-term rentals, known as STRs, housing, jobs, lifeguards, and an upkeep on the aging infrastructure. As you can you can depend on me to listen to all and act. I will continue to discuss the hard things people are talking about as long as I can prove it's fact and not rumor. If you want transparency and truth, I am your girl. My name is Vicki Kozlik Wall. Re-elect me to be your first ward council member. Thank you.
Thanks for comments.
Bill Wilkins, 8011 Indiana Street.
Evening, sir.
Good evening. I want to kind of communicate a couple of things that I've heard since walking around talking to residents, and also to say how proud I am to be one of those residents in South Haven that lives in South Haven. I listen all the time to people that are in other cities. They come in, they visit, they fellowship with us at the church, and we hear it all the time. They look out over the park and ride down Monroe and just go around our city. And the compliments are always the same, how great our city looks, and we ought to be real happy to be a part of a city that looks like South Haven. There's a lot of reasons South Haven is in the position that it is in right now. I believe it's because you have residents that care, they have love, they're kind, they treat each other right, they may have differences, but they always rise above the differences. They have residents that volunteer their time to be a part of important committees to help run this city without pay. Countless of contributions being made by residents to help keep South Haven in the way it is right now. And so my hat goes off to those residents that have contributed a lot of their own time, whether it's on a football field. I coached for many years, didn't get paid. A lot of others have kids. Other people have kids that run them back and forth to practices and to games. Those are great memories of South Haven. So I just want to echo those comments that I received about South Haven and the residents that live in South Haven. And so I think that's very important. Now, my final comment is, and I don't know if this goes to Kate or to the council, is that I think we don't want to forget about our seniors. Walking around talking, a lot of our seniors feel like they're being left out of this big old equation. And we have to keep them in focus because our average age in South Haven is slowly climbing. And so we should keep them in our focus. And also, parking, believe it or not. Parking has become a big issue for a lot of our elderly residents. I say elderly, but I'm creeping up there, Jeff. I'm getting up there. A lot of things I'm feeling that my dad used to feel. I'm starting to get it. I've gone through too much to fight now. I just count it a blessing to be alive. If you suffer septic shock, kidneys failed. By the time my wife found me, my kidneys had failed, liver was in trouble, and my heart was doing all it can to pump blood through my collapsing vein. I don't have time for fighting. I want to push love. I think we should get along. I don't think, it's just me. I'm not going to be spending the rest of the time God give me to be fighting. But parking is an issue. If we could just keep that in focus, our elderlies are getting more concerned about parking, especially downtown area. They would hate to see this beautiful city of South Haven become a pay-to-parks city. So I don't know if that's to you, Kate, or to the council, but that is one of the concerns that I promised that I would bring back to the council, that maybe we can focus on. Is there lots that we could pave, or I don't know how we do it to make sure that South Haven has more parking? I don't know. That's the bright minds up there to figure out with the staff. But I made a promise that I would bring that back. Again, I think We're better than that. We're better than that. We're better than that.
Thanks for your comments. Appreciate it. Good evening. How are we?
Mike Campbell, 216 Erie Street. Comment is short. I would simply like to congratulate the 3 incumbents who are sitting on this council who are running for office for conducting their campaigns by taking the high road. I know you sit there and you hear the things that you hear, and you have the respect of your office to not respond back because you are the leaders who you are. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Anybody else? Going once, going twice, gone. City manager comments.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. Last week, we released a press release, if you will, notifying of some changes here in the staff. We wanted to welcome Daryl Williams, who will be our new customer service manager. He started today. Tyler Wilson has been appointed as our marina manager after serving as the interim for most of this summer. Michelle Fisher, which has been the records clerk at the police department, has been elevated to the information center supervisor. And Quentin Clark, who's sitting behind me, is serving as our interim DPW director. So those were some changes that went out last week. Welcome everybody to their posts, and thank you, Quentin, for stepping into that role. We should be moving forward with the applications that we do have and seeing if there's any more people. We're looking to conduct interviews at least mid-October, at least to the end of October for DPW director. There was also a press release that went out today, I believe, about leaf pickups. So in case any of you, I'm sure there's leaves that are coming down. We'll be getting that in about 2 weeks. And we'll run that as weather permits until about December 8th or as we need. I do want to give a huge shout out to the city staff and Shays. The Touch a Truck event, if you all came out, was a fantastic event, and I can't give enough kudos to my staff to how well that went off. It was a well-attended event. We gave away 320 hot dogs, lots of food, popcorn, candy, you name it, from 3:30 to 6:30 last Wednesday. We even gave out some whistles, much to the chagrin of, I think, of everybody else there who wasn't blowing a whistle. We had lots of our departments come together and put together a booth, who brought their trucks out for anyone to walk in there. I know that I apologize for anybody who lives next to the Huron Street Pavilion. I think they heard lots of sirens and horns and whatnot going off. But we had lots of inventiveness going on by city staff. You can come out, you could direct a camera and show how broadcasting is done. You were able to vote on your favorite booth or your favorite truck. We also had some mining equipment brought over by Getman's. Spencer Manufacturing brought over one of their trucks that they were working on. The electric department made a whole model of a electric pole and a transformer and showed people how to change a fuse, because when the transformer goes out and your power's out, that's what they're doing out there. And so I thought it was very informative. So kudos to my staff. I can't believe how well they did what they did, and the amount of attention and creativity was brought to it. So my very deep felt thanks to the city staff for that. We hope to make that an annual event. Lastly, I did want to mention that if you weren't out on Sunday, October 1st, from 12 to 8 p.m., our social district went into effect. So this will be going on till May 15th, and it's every day, 12 to 8 p.m., and there's certain rules, but we've got the signs up, so if you have any questions, look to those signs. Otherwise, we do have a page on the city's website detailing any rules. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Good comments. Agreed. Questions for Kate? You're off the hook. Council comments. I'll start on my left. How's those kids?
The kids are wonderful.
How's the teacher?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Very good.
First, I want to say thank you to everyone who came out for all your different comments and everything. In the words of our former First Lady, Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. Those are my comments for tonight. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments.
Mine's more of a question for maybe the clerk. For example, because it's election season, the process for if Mr. Reeser is voted for mayor, is the process where he would submit a name for council to vote on to fill the remainder of his term for the whole term?
My understanding is that the mayor-elect would then submit a name for consideration, and that would be voted on by the council. So once everyone is sworn in and the new mayor takes the position, if it happens to be Mr. Reeser, that would leave his seat open. My understanding is that the mayor does make the suggestion, but it is voted on by the council.
So it would be like him bringing names or nominations,
Yes.
and then the council would vote?
Similar to,
That would be for the remainder of that term?
that's correct.
Double check that. I would be the last person that happened with, and I don't think I think we took applications.
I thought people applied.
Applied.
and-
It wasn't, I didn't appoint anybody.
All right, well, then we will double check that.
I mean, double
First-
check. My memory may be failing me, which could happen, but I don't think I appointed.
The first time I served was when John Frost stepped down, and I had to apply with 3 other people applied, and then the council chose.
I believe it was.
I'll confirm
If you
that.
could check that procedure for me. that'd be
Absolutely.
all. Thank you. That's all I.
Good question.
My comment, just congratulations to city staff. I wasn't able to make the touch a truck thing, but the pictures I saw, like the transformer changing the fuse, that's awesome. That is so cool they thought of that. And it just looked amazing, and unfortunately I wasn't able to be there, so I didn't get to touch any of the trucks.
I know how to.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I have a class on Wednesday night, so I wasn't able to attend it. And then Tom Finney's still here. Those shirts were awesome. They're really well received on the shirts, and congratulations on the success of the 5K. And those are my comments.
I just want to add on to the Touch a Truck event being really amazing. It was so fabulous for especially a first-year event. It just seemed super well organized. All the kids were having a great time. Parents were enjoying themselves too, so good job, everybody. And then about signs being destroyed and vandalized around town during the election season, I just hope that as a community we can do better than that. Just be nice to each other. And then the last thing that I just wanted to mention is back to a consent item, consent agenda item about the ravine maintenance and drainage issues. I'm just wondering if we can look at that and see if we should be adding drainage requirements for permits, if that's becoming an issue. I know in my ward, we have some issues with draining and changing slopes and things like that, and especially with the ravines around. I'm just wondering if we might want to look at that. And then also for the city-owned ravines, if we're maintaining and monitoring them, how we're doing it. Just see if we're on top of that, or if there are any things that we can do to make it better.
Okay.
I think that's all for me.
Good comments.
I also got to participate in the Touch the Truck event. I did get to put the electrical gloves on and use the hot stick to open and close the disconnect. That was way cool.
It's harder than it looks.
I got a lot of pictures with my grandson inside different vehicles, which is great. This weekend, Thursday and Friday, some people from the city of Charlevoix will become visiting. I got to participate going up to Charlevoix to see their city, and it's just kind of a neat event to kind of talk to other city council members, their city staff, see how they do things, maybe how we can maybe do things better. And so I won't be able to participate this Thursday and Friday, but I'm looking forward to our city putting on a good show for Charlevoix when they come. That's it.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, one comment. The upcoming election is a serious election, and it deserves serious dialogue. In my humble opinion, taking disparaging comments at various people within this city does not bode well and does not reflect well on those making those comments, especially if they're looking for leadership positions in the city. I won't comment on any of the comments made tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so touch a truck, yes, outstanding. I didn't get to do everything because I had to stand back because there were so many kids, just saying.
It's a good problem to have.
I didn't get to do the electric, but I watched lots of lines, lots of, you guys, see? I got to throw one of the, poops, though. I got to, that was a nice
That
feature.
was
If you didn't
cute.
get to go, not real, it was foam. So, But I would also say, you always learn, like, I still laugh. I've been hanging around with a lot of these guys and going to these, but you still learn. You watch and you see the inner workings of, like, this is what we do, people. This is our electric department. This is our street. They had a fire hydrant there from East Jordan that was new that day. They had it cut right through it. Pretty cool to see that. So I should be right down here to show off at City Hall. But anyway, very well done. And to your point about the sirens, yes, if you were a visitor downtown, you would have thought we were in a rough neighborhood or something, because the sirens were nonstop for about 2 hours there, but totally fun. What else? Oh, sorry, Bishop, your comment about scouts, yes, here's my quick story, is I became a scout leader for almost 10 years because I was at a city council meeting, and I got voted the scout leader because I was here. So, scout leader was chosen, so, and again, yeah, upcoming election, I mean, we are a very nice, small, tight-knit community. If we could all continue to remember that we're all neighbors, respect one another, respect those signs. It's a process, so stick together. We're still a good community. On that note, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.